So recently I was watching this video and I was like, damn, I want to play it, but I don't really have a setup like that, so I only have a controller, and I was like, RBR on the controller, it might work, because I played Assetto Corsa on the controller and it was pretty good, but RBR, I don't know. So I downloaded it, I checked it, and I had some issues with it, but I managed to set it up quite nicely, and I'm gonna walk you through the steps. So I'm using a PS4 controller, and I'm using DS4 Windows application to emulate the inputs of the controller. And I'm not gonna go through downloading the DS4 and setting it up and so on, because there are plenty of tutorials to do that correctly. But I'm gonna go through the settings that you need to change to make the controller work in the RBR correctly. So first of all, when you're in this state, you should be able to see that, and we're gonna go ahead and create a new profile for our controller. Do you want to use the preset options? Yes, we would like to use preset options, and here we select gamepad, and here that's the important part. We select DualShock 4 controller because Xbox 360 has some issues with trigger inputs. They are like left to right, like analog sticks, not 0 to 100, something like that. Yeah, I had issues, and I used DualShock 4 and it works correctly. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that. Name the profile, let's say RBR controller, and that's, yeah, it can be whatever. I'm sorry if I'm gonna stutter, because I have my notes there. I'm gonna look at them. Okay, so first thing, RBR does not separate the R2 and L2, the triggers. Those are the game reads it as one input, so we have to assign one of those. I'm gonna assign L2 to the x-axis of the right analog stick. To do that, you search for L2 here, double click it, it's gonna show us this screen, and here you're gonna go ahead and assign it to the right x-axis minus, just by left clicking. Yeah, and as you can see, it is assigned. Right, and now when we click L2, it's gonna output the analog input of the right stick to the game. We're gonna assign it later. So okay, so after that, we'll open the game, and we're gonna try to assign the buttons to the specific to the actions required. So you can go ahead and go to options, and then to controls, and then to controller setup, and then to controller setup once again. And here we can see, here we can assign all the steering. For the steering, it's of course x-axis. Yeah, sorry, cause it's gonna take a lot of tries for me, because my analog sticks are drifting a lot. It's gonna be hard for me to assign it, but for you should be fine. So for steering, it's x-axis, and as you can see, it is already working on the right. And it's the left analog sticks x-axis. For the gear up and gear down, you just delete the inputs. For the throttle, and that's the important part. If you just click it and then click the trigger, it's gonna register as a button, not the analog input, and we don't really want that. So to bypass it, you have to push the trigger all the way to 100%, and then click the assign, and then release it. And as you can see, it assigned. And you should do the same for the brake. Push it 100%, and then assign it. And as you can see, throttle and brakes are now separated, and there are both analog inputs, but there is a catch. They are, as you can see, they are inverted, and we need to do something about it. So to correct it, let's go ahead and save the changes. So to correct it, you exit the game, and then go to the main root directory of the game, and you search for the file called input.ini. So open that with a notepad, and here are settings that we exactly need. So we have to type true in invert throttle axis, and true in invert brake axis. Then we save it, and I don't know if that's really important, but I prefer to go to properties and click read only, so the game won't change it by itself. Just click apply and click OK. Then we have to relaunch the game to check if it's working. Okay, so we go to options once again, control and setup, and we can test the brakes and throttle, and as you can see, they work correctly now. I'm pushing 100% and they're on 100%. Same for the brakes, they go in the good direction. So now it's almost everything, but I'll show you what I did to improve the experience a bit. Let me launch some random stage, and I'll show you something about steering inputs. Okay, so now we can check if all the inputs work, and as you can see, the steering works just fine. The throttle also, we can manipulate it. Brakes also. So let me drive for a bit and show you what's the issue, for me at least. That may not be for you, but yeah, you might already see it. The inputs, at least for me, are a bit too sharp, and it's really hard to write smoothly, and yeah, it's too responsive for me, and I wanted to make it more smooth. Yeah, see, like if I do that, you might be fine with it, and then you don't have to do what I'm about to do, but that was personally an issue for me, so I'll show you how to improve it. So we close the game, and then we go to the DS4 again, and we search for here is left stick, and here are output curves, and yeah, now change it to those settings. You can see how the curve works. Looks like. Yeah, and we're gonna try it in game just to show you that it's less responsive at the beginning, which is a good thing in my opinion, especially at high speeds. Okay, so practice, start the stage. We'll see. In my opinion, it is way better, because the inputs are not that responsive, and the car is much more stable and easy to control. And the game is actually playable on a controller in that way. And I was searching for a proper like optimizations of that, and I couldn't find any on the internet, and that's why I experimented on my own and decided to share it. So if you have any issues or questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to answer if I'll be able to. But yeah, I hope you enjoy. You'll enjoy the game, the RBR, and have a nice day.